the shortened prayer or qasr? So let's discuss that what is qasr. The definition of qasr is shortening the prayer. Only 4 rakats prayer can be shortened. That mean that we can only shorten Zohar, Asr, Isha, but not Fajr or Maghrib. First, we need to understand that what is qasr. Whenever we are traveling, and as a traveler, if we are unable to perform full length prayer or full length namaz, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they have given us this opportunity to shorten our prayer during our traveling time. Yes, they have kept a condition that what kind of traveler it should be, or what kind of distance uh, we count in the qasr prayer. We are going to discuss it in the further slide, but please make sure you understand the word qasr. Qasr is the shortening prayer. Okay, shorten of the first prayer basically. And please do remember that we cannot shorten any kind of sunnat or nawafil. We only make sure that the only farz are being shortened. Okay, for example, in Fajr we have 2 farz and 2 sunnat. So these 4 things will remain the same. We cannot shorten any like we cannot shorten Fajr farz any further. Now let's talk about Zohar. So Zohar may we have 4 farz namaz, so we can shorten it to 2 rakats of farz. Then we have Asr. Asr may we have 4 rakats of farz, so we can shorten it to 2 rakats of farz. Then we move towards Maghrib. Maghrib may we have 3 rakats of farz, so we have to pray, we have to perform all 3 rakats. We cannot shorten 3 rakats into 2. And in Isha, we have 4 rakats of farz, and so we can shorten it to 2 rakats. And yes, witr is mandatory. Okay, it's wajib. We cannot shorten or leave witr. This is the verse of the Holy Quran of Surah Nisa, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is informing us, and when you travel in the land, there is no sin on you if you shorten your salah. So please remember that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this opportunity to shorten our prayer whenever we are traveling, so it's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Someone asked the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that what if I do not want to shorten my prayer during the traveling time, so is it okay for me to not to shorten my prayer? So the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied that when if your Lord has gifted you something, so why are you not enjoying Allah's gift? So it's obligatory on us to enjoy whatever the easiness Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent towards us. So it's our duty to avail the all the opportunities and gifts. So this is the a chart where I have put all the original rakats and the shortened prayer as well. Please make sure that Fajr and Maghrib will remain the same, while Zohar, Asr, and Isha, we can shorten the first namaz of these 3 prayer times. Now let's talk about the conditions, that what are the conditions we have to meet if I want to shorten my prayer. So there are some conditions I need to look into. First, it is performed if someone covers the distance of 48 miles from his house. If you are covering the distance less than 48 miles, it means that you cannot shorten your prayer. But if someone is traveling miles away, like 45 or more than 45 miles, sorry, 48 or more than 48 miles away from the house, it means that now that person can shorten his or her prayer. Similarly, if he stays less than 15 days, or some scholars says it is 19 days, then the qasr prayer will be offered. If someone for example, if someone is traveling and that person has a plan to stay uh, on that place for 15, or in some of the books we find out that there are 19 days like 19 days duration. So if a person is staying on that place for less than 15 or 19 days, only then that person will perform qasr. But if that person is planning to stay for 1 month or for 2.5 months or more than this, more than 15 or 19 days, then that person should perform the regular rakats. Okay, then the condition of shortened prayer will not be, we cannot use that condition here. So please make sure that you have understood this point very clearly, that a person should cover more than or equal to 48 miles or more than 48 miles of distance from his house. And that person, if that person is staying on the place for less than 15 or 19 days, only then he can perform qasr prayer. If that person is planning to stay more than these days, then qasr will not be offered. There is no shortened prayer in Sunnah and Wajib prayer. Uh, Sunnah and Wajib prayer, we cannot offer qasr for it. Wajib means witr. We cannot skip witr, or we cannot make just one or two or witr. Okay, we need to perform three witrs or Sunnah. Now, full rakat should be offered in congregation if Imam is a resident. For example, when we go for Umrah or when we go for Hajj. So if we are having our namaz in congregation in the imamat of a resident of that city. For example, if I have gone for Umrah and I am performing my namaz in Masjid al-Haram, so the Imam of Masjid al-Haram is the resident of Makkah. So then I have to offer the full prayer. Then I cannot have my qasr prayer. But yes, if I am having my namaz individually, then I would offer qasr prayer only. If the imam is the resident of the area, then you are supposed to pray the regular namaz. But if you are having it individually, or the imam is not the resident of that area, then you will not have the regular prayer, you will have your qasr prayer. Okay, I hope that I have made these points clear. If imam is also a traveler, so yes, you will shorten your prayer. Okay. Now let's move forward to the qaza prayer. Qaza means delayed prayer. If you forget to perform namaz on a set time, or if you have missed your prayer, so what are the opportunities we have for qaza prayer? If a person is unable to perform prayer within the prescribed time, he should perform it as soon as possible as qaza. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has said, "There is no negligence while one is sleeping, but for forgetfulness occurs when one is awake. If one of you forgets the prayer or sleep through its time, then he should perform the Salah when he recalls. If you have missed your prayer, so it is recommended to perform it as soon as possible. We should not delay it for a longest time of period. This is called qaza prayer. Performing the prayer after the prescribed time is called qaza. The following people are not obliged to perform qaza. There are some people who are exempted from the qaza prayer. Women in menstruation, insane, means those who are not in their conscious mind. Women with bleeding after giving birth to the baby, it is similar to menstruation. Those who below age of puberty or maturity, like the children, those who are on them, the namaz is not first, so the qaza is not obligatory for them. Now, there is no qaza for sunnat except Fajr Sunnah. It's please do remember that there is no qaza of Sunnah for Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. But yes, for Fajr, if we are performing our qaza prayer, so we need to perform both Farz and Sunnat. But missed witr prayer also will have qaza, as we have discussed that without witr there is no Isha prayer. So if you are performing the Isha prayer on a regular time, or if you are performing in qaza, or you are performing it as qasr, so in any of the conditions you cannot miss your witr. Okay, it's a rule of thumb. The prayer missed during the journey has to be offered in a shortened form. We have just discussed it in the previous slide. So I hope that these three types of prayers are clear. First, we discussed the Friday prayer, then we discussed the shortened prayer, and then we discussed Qaza prayer. We have one more type of prayer, but it's in detail. So we are going to cover two of the topics in the next class. Okay. So please do remember that if the question comes for these kind of prayer, you need to mention all of these points with elaboration. Okay. So I hope this audio lesson will help you in your test and in your assessments. Thank you so much.